All right, today we're diving into something completely different, a new vision for artificial intelligence. We're not talking about AI that's built from lines of code, but one that's grown like a living thing. An AI where its entire mind exists as a visual, evolving world of pixels.
So just think about this for a second. Forget everything you know about text prompts and massive code bases. What if an AI's whole life, its memories, its learning, its evolution, was something you could actually look at, something you could see with your own eyes?
This is exactly how its creators describe the NeuralPixel AI system. And listen, that description, it's not some fancy metaphor. We're talking about a system where intelligence literally comes to life as a community of digital creatures. And yeah, their brains are made of pixels. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at how it actually works as a living system. Then, we'll get into its visible brain, the craziest part. We'll see how it survives and evolves, understand what makes it a totally new kind of AI, and finally, I'll show you how you can jump in and explore this digital world for yourself.
So first up, let's get to the heart of this thing. The key here is to stop thinking like a computer programmer and start thinking more like a biologist who's just observing a tiny digital ecosystem.
So, how on earth is this even possible? Well, the whole system, which is built in the Unity game engine, it cleverly mixes a few key ideas. You've got reinforcement learning, learning from rewards and punishments, and a kind of neural memory. But the real secret sauce? Genetic reproduction. This creates an entire world of little autonomous agents that can eat, fight, have babies, and most importantly, actually evolve over generations. Okay, now for what I think is the most mind-bending part of this whole system, an AI brain that you can literally save to your computer as a PNG image file. No, I'm not kidding. This core concept is called the neural texture. And you know what? It is exactly what it sounds like. Each AI's brain is just a 2D image, a texture. It's not some abstract cloud of data or a complex network diagram. It's a picture.
So what is actually inside one of these pixel brains? Well, every single pixel is packed with what they call smart data. This includes things like Q values, which are basically scores that help the AI figure out the best action to take. It also holds memories and reward data. The bottom rows of the image even act as sensors, tracking stuff like its own hunger and health, or spotting enemies and food nearby.
And all of this comes together in a really simple but incredibly powerful three-step loop that basically defines the AI's entire existence. Step 1, it reads its own visual brain to figure out what's going on. Step 2, based on that, it picks an action, move, turn, whatever. And Step 3, it updates its brain based on what happened. That experience gets written right back into the image, which then shapes every decision it makes from then on.
All right, so we've got an AI with a brain made of pixels. How do these little guys actually survive? Well, that brings us to the simulation itself, which is basically a digital Darwinian free-for-all.
The evolution here is, well, it's surprisingly biological. When an agent is healthy and well-fed, it can find a mate and reproduce. And when they do, their brains, their two image files, get mixed together by averaging the color of each pixel. It's a literal blend of the two parent images. The offspring can also mutate, and they even pass down traits like confidence scores and unique names to their kids. It's wild.
And the engine that drives all of this evolution is a beautifully simple system of rewards and punishments. There are no complicated pre-programmed rules telling them what to do. Eating is good, you get a reward. Losing a fight or starving, that's bad, you get a penalty. That's it. This super simple logic is what shapes all the complex behaviors that you see pop up.
So it really does just boil down to survival of the fittest. The AIs that figure out successful strategies, the ones that are good at finding food and winning fights, are the ones that get to reproduce and pass on their pixel brains. The result is a self-regulating, genuine living digital ecosystem.
The system itself kind of acts like a digital park ranger. It's constantly spawning new agents, checking out how they're doing, and recycling the ones that just aren't cutting it. It's smart enough to spot high-potential brains and save them for later, and it archives all the failures in what they call a virtual graveyard. How cool is that?
Okay, so we've seen how it all works, but what really makes this a fundamentally new breed of AI? Why is a brain made of pixels such a game changer?
Here's what really sets this thing apart. The learning is happening in real time, right there in the pixels. Because the brain is visual, you can actually look at it and see what's going on, which is incredible for debugging. But maybe most importantly, there's no artificial clamping. What that means is a programmer isn't in there forcing the AI to make certain choices.
All of its behavior just emerges naturally from that simple reward system, which allows for some totally unexpected strategies to develop.
And this quote really just nails the whole spirit of the project. The goal here isn't to just build another AI tool. It's to create a digital organism, to run an experiment in artificial life, and just see what kind of intelligence can grow from a simple foundation of pixels.
And you know, the best part about this whole experiment is that you are invited to be a part of it. So let's talk about how you can become an observer in this amazing digital world. That's right. You can jump into this simulation right now. It runs directly in pretty much any modern web browser. On your computer, your phone, whatever. No downloads, no installs. The AI is just alive, right there in the browser, doing its thing.
And interacting with it is super simple. You can just click on any agent to see its visual brain and check its stats, like its generation or who its parents were. If you find one that seems particularly clever, you can save its brain as a simple PNG image. Then later on, you can upload that image and bring that exact AI, that specific mind, back to life in a whole new simulation.
Now, it's worth pointing out that there are two versions. The free web version we've been talking about is amazing for just observing and manually saving brains, but for researchers and people who want to get really deep into it, there's also a full paid PC version that has features like automatic saving, persistent AI populations that live on, and way more advanced diagnostic tools.
Which kind of brings us to this final, pretty wild thought from the project's creator. If an AI's brain can be encoded into a simple image, then who's to say what tiny fragments of potential intelligence might be hiding in any image? It's a fascinating idea to end on, right? One that totally blurs the line between what we think of as data and life itself.